All right, welcome back. So I'm throwing this in a video because this Tmaxx has got to go away. So I'm gonna end up selling this. I never beat up on it. I did a break-in on it, ran it in front of the garage, and had trouble tuning this. I ordered the Tmaxx and with the 3.3 in it, and I ended up with a 2.5 Tmaxx, which is the Tmaxx Classic. And the hobby shop is like, well, you can go ahead and just trade it in, and we'll go ahead and get you the 3.3, the one I originally ordered, which I didn't care. I figured it is what it is. I'll just do a comparison on the 2.5 versus the 3.3. Come to find out, I'm never going to use this 2.5, and rather than this brand new RC sit around and get destroyed, I figured I'd offer it to you guys. Do like I did with the Limitless. I'm basically giving this thing away. It was, you know, $430 plus tax to buy this, and now I've put batteries in it, charged this thing up. Everything's got batteries, so we'll put it back in the original box with all the paperwork to it, and we'll ship it out to you guys. And basically it's going to be 300 bucks plus shipping, and somebody can have a brand new Tmaxx Classic. Hopefully somebody gets it that enjoys nitro and can tune it better than I can. But there you go, just putting it out there. So the first person to basically, like we did before, go ahead, and I'm going to drop an email in the description, and first person to pay the 300 bucks. I'm not negotiating. It's not negotiation. I'm not trying to get more. I don't want full value for it. Basically 300 bucks takes it, and we'll ship it out to you. So if you want the body signed or any of that, just let me know when I contact you, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to put an email down below. Only contact me regarding this RC. Don't contact me with emails of pictures and stuff like that, or you got to get a hold of me. Basically serious buyers only, just like we did with the Limitless, and that went very well. He got that, so email's not going to stay up long, and hopefully somebody gets a cool RC that they're looking for. So saving 150 bucks for a brand new RC. I'll pop the lid and show you. It's never been bashed. As you can see, everything's still brand new. Fuel has been taken out of it, of course, and there you go. No scratches on anything. Brand new Tmaxx Classic. Showing you it does turn over. It does start and run. So no scratches on the body because it's never been bashed. Never ran it in dirt, none of that stuff. Like I said, I ran it in front of my house trying to get it tuned properly, but it keeps clicking on takeoff, and apparently that's a normal thing with these Classics. They say to do a reverse eliminator or something to that nature to get rid of that. But it's a fun RC. Definitely has plenty of power. Everything will come with batteries in it. Batteries in here also are new. So we'll package it up, ship it out to one of you. All right, welcome back. So I'm still working on my speed car, as parks are pretty full on the weekends. Trying to get everything I possibly can get done to ensure that everything's going to run right when I go out there. So since I've changed the receiver, I did stick it on the Futaba. So I'm going to plug in my booster. Let's power up the radio. So I did do a calibration with this radio, which I'll show again when I power it up. But I want to turn on the app because since I ran it after I calibrated, I just hit the trigger a few times. There should be some data in there to see if the data log works. But I'm going to head over to the Castle link. I'm going to go ahead and power this thing up so we can bind to it, hopefully. And I was able to get everything in the receiver box, even the Bluetooth module. It's jam-packed in there, but everything's in there. So we're going to link controller. I don't know why it's asking me all this stuff. No B-Link found. Oh, I probably got to turn it on. Well, before I turn it on, let me turn it off. And I should probably unplug these fans so you guys can hear me real quick. So here's what we're going to do. While it's powered off, you're going to take your controller, you're going to go full trigger. Go ahead, power it up. You're going to hear some funny beeps. When it goes steady like that, then go full reverse. You're going to hear those funny beeps again. Go steady again, go to neutral. That's the final. And now it's ready to rip. So I'm going to go ahead and power it off. Power it back on. That's the arming saying it's ready to rip. Let's link controller. I don't know why it puts me through this every time. So there's our B-Link. Says B-Link not found. Says disconnected. It's actually, the B-Link is really slow. Now I'm going to enter in my passcode. Everybody knows my passcode for it. I don't know why there's a passcode for this. What are you going to do? Break in and steal all my device information? All my settings to my ESC? You guys going to steal my data log? I don't get it. I don't feel passcode should be on stuff like this. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to check my throttle. Brakes work. Reverse works. I don't want to hit the trigger too hard. I let this drive 24 hours, re-gluing the face of this one. When I checked the back had also popped off. Bluetooth is on. And this is the problem that I always find with B-Link. So while that's trying to figure out what's going on, so I set my endpoints, my dual rate at 0. So in order to set your endpoints, you literally have to go in and make sure everything's at 0. So your sub trims, not even just your sub trims, but your endpoints right here. Got to make sure all this stuff is zeroed out. As you see, my forward throttle at 115, brake at 61. That's something I had to do. This is endpoint adjustments. So I checked all that stuff. I had to put those to 0 and then set the endpoints on that stuff as well. So let's back out of that. And then dual rate is right here. Make sure your dual rate is at 100%, not 0. It has to be at 100%. And then from here, we're going to turn our dual rate down for steering. And the way that works, I'll show you right now. See right here? See how much turning we have? So I'm going to take this down. I usually take it down to about 30%. That's 40. Look how minimal is turning to the right and left. So I usually have it around 30%. That's pretty much all the steering I need during a speed run. So just make sure you set that. And then you can also assign this to one of the buttons on the side so that you don't have to go into the main screen to adjust your dual rate. You can literally do it off one of these buttons. That one's throttle. I know I assigned it. I have to figure out where I assigned my dual rate. So let's see, let's back out. It's receiver, expo, ABS. And there is ABS on, throttle ABS on this thing. So I can literally go ahead and set that up as well. But we're gonna try to do it through, the phone even turned off trying to link. Look, it's still trying to connect. So I'm gonna go ahead and power off my phone because I don't know what's going on. Like got locked up some way. Just want to get back into data. I set all this up yesterday, closed it up, made sure it worked before I turned the camera on, and now I'm having this issue. So let's go back to Castle Link. Some were saying that I had to register to see this, but other people were saying you don't have to register in order to see data. So before I register, I want to check to see. That's why I keep going link controller. Next, next. It says disconnected, B-Link. Enter passcode again. A firmware update for the connected B-Link is available. Would you like to update now? We did this yesterday. I don't know why it keeps saying update, but I'm going to hit no. Power it off. Power it on. Reconnecting to B-Link. And I did that update yesterday. It seems like every time it's turning back on, it's asking me for the update again. So now it's getting firmware version. There we go. We're finally connected. Takes a little bit of time, which is going to be rough because I need to connect here on location. Not only that, my SkyRC GPS, I have to use this same device. So let's go to data log. Look, download data log. So you don't have to be registered in order to download it. So let's go download data log. Let's see how long this takes. And this is just a couple short blips of powering this thing up. So now, as you see, the B-Link, you can get data, everything off your phone for an Apple device, which I think is nice because I hate using my Windows computer because I'm an Apple type person, Mac, Apple, that kind of stuff. Don't have to deal with viruses and firmware software and protection and all that stuff. Literally, my computer is not hooked to the internet and I leave it offline, and I just use that. I bought that computer just for Castle Link. It's like a cheap $200 Dell computer. It's like the basic one, because if you get one that's too smart, Castle Link don't work for it because the software, the Windows version, is too high for the Castle Link stuff. So it's still downloading data. I hate to see if this data logger was at 90%, how long this would take. So one-time link. So there's the graph. Nothing is on the graph. Start. I don't know what this start thing is. Let's see. What is this? Normal boot up sequence. Battery current. Power. Controller temperature. BEC voltage. Do I have to choose this stuff? Session. It says session 1. It's not really showing anything. Like there's nothing on the graph. That's the zoom. There's literally nothing. This graph right here has nothing on it. Graph scale, RPM, BC, controller, power, battery, current. Doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff in this graph. That's weird. So it's showing that we use something. I don't want to download. Cancel download. Yes. I mean, it says it's there. It's just pretty hard to read. Let me go back to data log. We're going to clear log data. Clear log data. Yes. Data log cleared. Zero capacity. Dismiss. So there is data log stuff in there. Now I want to go to settings. Reason I want to go to settings is we recalibrated the Futaba controller. And I remember full throttle was 2.050 for full throttle. Kind of want to see what full throttle is now. Hopefully it'll show it. Throttle curve, brake curve, professional, motor. It was always under advanced. Used to be under advanced. Drag brake, idle beeps, BEC with reverse, voltage cutoff, no cutoff. So you can tell it has all my settings in it. But where is sample frequency, automated data reset, throttle curve, brake curve? Was throttle curve there? Nope, doesn't tell me that. So it's not really showing me my data that I'm looking for, which sucks. It's always under advanced. Arming time, auxiliary wire, there's none. Throttle deadband average. And large is 0.1500, but everything is under. So I don't know what. I'm hoping it's set. I'm gonna have to literally go back in. And I thought I could look it up on this because on my computer I can plug in and I can see what my throttle stuff settings are, which if I can't compare it to my data, I don't know if I'm getting full throttle, which I don't see anywhere in here. Brake curve, profile options, punch control. So punch is supposed to be your start at 90%. Let's see if that slowed it down. I want to change some stuff because I want to see if it's actually changing the ESC. Oh. Sending settings complete. Let's dismiss that. Let's try this trigger now. And no trigger. As still hits really hard. I'm barely touching the trigger. So setting that up didn't really change anything. Let's go back to start power, says low. Let's try high. Kind of want it to start off low, but I know sometimes some of these settings are reversed. I mean, I could read up on it, just hit the question mark and it should be able to tell me. Dismiss. It's funny, every time I make a change I got to power it off and power it back on. Wait for it to arm. So that turning the start power to high seemed to soften up the start a little bit. Still a lot of power. I don't want to hit it too hard. I don't want to blow this tire I just glued off. It's been sitting for a couple hours, but I am going to run foams on it tomorrow on the grass and see if that fixes anything. So let's go back and see if I can read data logs. So data logs say 0 even though I've been running it. Yeah, see, data logs still show 0 and I've been hitting the trigger and it should have logged it, which is weird. I think with logs I'm still gonna, even though the capabilities here, there's certain things that I look up, it looks like I'm gonna have, I mean, everything that's in here should be on this and the computer. It just seems like this is a lot slower, and that's probably via Bluetooth. Let me check my firmware. So the firmware, the 2.07 is still there. Let me see if I can, so under basic, there should be software. Logging, throttle, profile options. Yeah, see, I don't see it there. Data logging, connect. Here's firmware. That just shows me what firmware's in there. It's not telling me which one is installed. Because if I go here, product version, and it just doesn't tell me if that's in. Where on the computer it tells me which software I have in. Controller settings, reverse, BEC voltage, auto brake, drag brake, power. It seems like some of the stuff is just not here. I have to look that up as well. But, I mean, it's better than nothing. I got something. I can play with the throttle curve and stuff out there because it looks like I can make changes to it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Shut my phone down. Don't forget to plug my fan back in. And then some people, a lot of people keep telling me that I need to add weight to my Mojave, and I keep showing it. So right here, here's one bundle of weight, 6 ounces, and then below it I have another bundle of wheel weights, another 6 ounces. So I literally take these wheel weights, these bundles, I split them in half like this. I don't even split them. I do this. I take 3 strips and then I tape them up. And then that's my weight that I put around this RC. And I've got a lot of weight on the front of this RC already, trying to keep the front end down. But when you have high traction, if I kick in the power too fast, too high, or even when it's funny, if you hit a dip on the grass and you're in, say, a quarter trigger, when it comes out of that dip, it wants to come in a wheel stand. And I just have to back off the throttle a hair, not to neutral. I just back off a hair. The front slams down because it's got all this weight on it, and then I start rolling into the trigger again. And that's every bump on the grass. So you'll see sometimes, you'll hear me like this, feathering the throttle, trying to get to half trigger, because I'm watching it bump up, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to watch to see if tires blow so that I can let off right away. I'm literally in this run laser focused on what the RC car is doing, so that I could try to get a clean run without tires blowing, you know, because that's my limiting factor right now is tires. I charged up batteries this morning. Was gonna head over to the park. Got to the park early at sunrise, and there was people all over the park. Dogs everywhere. It's the weekend. People want to get out and enjoy, you know, the early mornings, and some people want to enjoy the late nights. So I wasn't able to run the RC today, at least for speed runs. So I'm probably going to run something this evening. I just don't know what. But I'm going to continue to work on this. I want to try a few things. I definitely still have to check all these other tires. I mean, I keep checking them this way, you know, without taking them off. But I don't know, throwing glue all around these edges, they just don't seem to help, especially on the one that I did glue. Even the backside of the rim ripped out opposite from where it blew out. I mean, when this thing blew out, it lifted the whole RC. And when it does that, you know, you're definitely going to crash. Luckily, I was able to keep it under control. But I just got to go over some hardware, that kind of stuff. Just trying to give an update of what's going on. Been doing a lot of these Mojave videos because I'm truly trying to get to 100 miles an hour. And I'm trying all different types of wheels. I was going to put the Fire Team tires on here and cut the extra body I had to run these things, but this thick webbing in the back, you can't bolt it on. It literally will hit the steering and hit the upper link, and it locks it because the offset is so far in there. These wheels are sucked so far in that it's hitting everything on this webbing. So these are, and it's funny because I thought these sidewalls, they don't seem to stretch. They are soft, but they don't balloon. The center of the tire balloons, but the sidewall, because it's so thick, it doesn't balloon. And I was hoping to go ahead and put these on here and just cut my extra body way out to run these things to see if I can go any faster with those. And then I have some belted trenchers in the garage that I have on my Creighton, and I was going to try those. They're real wide. But feeling them, they're the old belted trenchers from a couple years ago, and they still feel soft. They're belted on the tread, but the sidewalls are just super soft. I think I'm having better luck with these low profile ones, but I know if I can go to a taller tire, that's going to be less revolutions for the tire, which you're going to get more speed before it rips off the bead. So that's the theory anyway. So I'm going to continue working on this. Figure I turn on the camera, let you guys know what I'm doing, the changes I'm making, the calibration stuff. I've changed the receiver. I got the B-Link in here now. I got the lid back on. I got the tire glued. I'll be running some BSR foams tomorrow on grass. See if I can get any kind of traction. See if I can get it up to speed. I know the foams won't blow. Hopefully if I can get some sort of traction and I can stop decently without just sliding across the grass and running into trees. Because that's another thing. Getting up to speed is one thing. Getting the RC stopped, you really need traction. Somebody steps out, dog runs out, any of that stuff, I got to be able to stop. So, a little worried about the foams and stopping. But I'll know when I hit the trigger. If I don't have any traction in accelerating, I'm definitely not going to have any traction trying to stop, especially with all the weight I've added to this. Between the weight on the front of this the dual batteries and the 8S system, that's a lot of weight in this Mojave. But there we go. Something interesting happened. I'm going to kick the camera back on. If it doesn't, there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching.